Okay, it's Wednesday. We both have something to drink.
What's up Wednesday?
What's happening Wednesday?
Oh yeah, what's happening Wednesday?
It's what's happening Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's okay. I'm the overall host. I'm the only one that has to get it right from day to day. But it's what's happening Wednesday here on the officially unofficial geek channel here on YouTube. I am your ever-present host, Carrie Quinn, and with me as always, well, not as always, but with me to discuss
Until Star Wars runs out.
Until the Star Wars runs out. Hey guys, you know what? If you're enjoying Joe on these episodes for Wednesday when we're talking about the Book of Boba Fett, please, drop a comment. Give Joe a little bit of love, and maybe we'll get him to come on and talk about other stuff once the Star Wars runs out. But here's the good thing about Star Wars. It never runs out. Ever. Because we have Disney Plus in our household, and Joe also has his whole, I watch Star Wars whenever it's on TV as well.
Yes, whenever it's on TV.
Even though, I mean, technically we're paying for the TV as well, but even though we're paying $8 for Disney Plus every month, he also watches whenever it's on like TNT or whatever. He could avoid commercials if he really wanted to. But I mean, there are things that are Star Wars that you do not find on regular cable TV, such as what we are going to be talking about this evening.
Yeah, the Book of Anything But Boba Fett.
The Book of Anything But Boba. Okay, here's the thing. He's talking a big game now, but let me tell you something. At 3 o'clock this morning, this guy here sitting across from me was super duper excited. So let's talk about the Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Anything But Boba Fett.
Yeah, the Book of Anything But Boba Fett. Okay, so here's the thing. You're going to get the Book of Boba Fett, episode 6, from two different perspectives. Two slightly different perspectives. You're going to get one from the regular, big fan of Star Wars, and then one from the super duper fan of Star Wars. All right, so what are our qualifications? What makes me the big fan of Star Wars, and what makes Joe the super duper fan?
I don't know. I pretty much devour all media.
Joe devours all media. Joe devours all media in regards to Star Wars. If Star Wars something exists in the world, he may not get to it right away, but he does eventually. We're realizing that in regards to the High Republic series.
Started that up. Good stuff.
Yeah, so he's finally devouring those books now that he's started them. He can't stop. I think that's probably an accurate description of your situation right now. But Joe has been a lifelong fan, a super fan. If you are on Twitter, you've probably seen him comment on something. You might even follow him, as he's let me know he has over 200 followers at this point. Probably based mostly about him commenting in Star Wars stuff. But like I said, I am a fan. I'm a big fan. I know quite a bit, but not nearly as much as Joe. And one of the things that you run into when you have a fan medium with such as Star Wars, where you have different types of media. You have the written media. You have the television show media, cartoons, and live action. You have the movies as well. And there's a certain type of people that are getting excited for certain reasons over episode 6 that we'll definitely get into, because they devour like Joe does every aspect of Star Wars.
I devour the Star Wars.
Yes, he devours the Star Wars. like that sandwich we had. Like,
yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah,
I loved the episode. I did. I really loved the episode, but I don't think it was an episode of Boba Fett.
Okay, so let's.
It's probably my favorite Star Wars thing to come out in a long, long time.
But the thing is, you know what's really funny is I live with you, and I know you said the exact same thing about the last episode of The Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, we've wasted 2 episodes now on not Boba Fett.
Yeah. Well, but at least Boba Fett was in this episode a little bit.
Yeah, for about a minute or 2.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So here's the thing. I have a newly found theory involving Fury. Thank you. Involving Star Wars fandom. And I've already told Joe a little bit about this. I think that there is a certain level of fan that if you throw Luke Skywalker in front of them, they go all apey.
That was me last night.
That was you last night. Okay, so I hadn't mentioned it before, but I will definitely mention it in the title of this episode. Like last week, like the week before, if you have not watched Book of Boba Fett's episode that dropped,
don't listen to this.
Don't listen to this yet. So, but I'm also going to put this in the description since we just kind of dropped, kind of hinted at a bomb here. But, here's the thing. Spoiler alert throughout this whole entire episode of What's Happening Wednesday, because I literally got woken up at 3 a.m. by
Watch it.
Excitement.
To watch it.
By excitement
Didn't
coming.
you hear me get excited during the episode?
Yeah, I woke up to gasps of excitement, adventure, and
Jedi craves not these things.
Yeah, but apparently, okay, so I have this theory that it does not matter what anyone says at any time whatsoever, whether it's 5 minutes, 5 hours, 20 hours, a week before it happens. If certain Star Wars fans are presented with anything that has Luke Skywalker in it, they turn to butter hitting a hot skillet. They melt, which is exactly. Do you deny it? This is exactly what happened with you? Do you deny it?
Nope, that's what happened.
Yeah. So, and the thing is it's.
I didn't even want it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, I want this right now.
Exactly. you actively campaign against it in conversations with your friends, family, and loved ones when talking about Star Wars, but then it happens. And it's everything you wanted and more.
Yeah, it was.
Because the exact same thing happened. Mandalorian season 2, the last episode.
Yep.
I remember.
And Luke looks so much better in this than he did in the.
Yeah, they definitely upped their CGI game now that they realized, hey, wait, people liked that we did this, so let's do this more. So. Mandalorian, end of season 2, the last episode of season 2. Obviously, if you were up to date, you know that Luke Skywalker shows up and takes Grogu with him to do his Jedi training stuff. I remember throughout that entire season, once it became an idea that any Jedi could come and pick up Grogu, that not just Joe, but a lot of people were like, don't make it Luke Skywalker, anyone but Luke Skywalker. And then what happens? We know what happens. Luke Skywalker shows up and everyone's a kid again. They hear that theme music, they see that X-Wing, and they all, it's no longer a drill for them. They're running around like their underwear on their heads, all excited. So yesterday this morning, early this morning, we had a situation where the episode dropped and you came out here and you watched it like you normally do.
Yep.
And for the week between the last episode and this episode, The major thing that was not just him, but I heard other people talking about was if we spend too much time on the Mandalorian and Luke Skywalker and the Mandalorian trying to visit Grogu in this episode, it would be upsetting, correct?
Yep.
And then what happened?
Then it was exactly that.
And then what happened?
And then I got really happy.
You literally probably like gasped and you know the equivalent of running around with your pants, you know, wooling them around over your head.
Yes.
I
didn't expect it, but I guess I did expect it. But you know what? It happened, and I'm really happy.
Yeah.
Now I want to watch the episode again.
You want to watch it a third time? I say a third time, guys, because he came out here and he watched it in our living room because that's where we're recording right now. He came out and he watched it in our living room, and he got excited, and he had attempted apparently to wake me up, but I did not wake up because I asked him to attempt to wake me up, and it did not work until about I'm gonna say probably halfway through the episode. I heard you talking out here and you getting excited. And so then I tried to fall back asleep. It did not work. So you came back into our bedroom and you're like, "Oh my God, you gotta watch it now! I'm so excited." So right away, you got me awake to watch it. So I watched it. My perspective right away was not expecting to see Ahsoka Tano.
Nobody was.
Nobody was expecting that. People suspected that we were going to get Grogu and Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
That this was a suspected thing, but nobody expected Ahsoka Tano, which was your selling point on getting me to watch it right away.
Yep.
Because you're like, something happens that you have wanted for quite some time. And it is true. This is something that I have wanted for quite some time. I have followed the character of Ahsoka Tano. She is arguably my favorite Jedi.
She's no Jedi.
And by not being a Jedi, the reasoning she makes her more Jedi than a lot of them.
Yes.
But anyways, she is my favorite, you know, asterisk Jedi. One of the things I absolutely needed to see in any format, cartoon, live action, I don't know, do a YouTube video, I don't care. Okay, I needed to have that meeting. I needed to have Ahsoka Tano and Luke Skywalker within 5 feet of each other, talking. If you're aware of this, you know about Ahsoka Tano, like we know about Ahsoka Tano. You know that she was a part of, originally, she was a character developed for the Clone Wars cartoon by Dave Filoni.
And George Lucas.
And she was Anakin's Padawan. Now, I loved Ahsoka Tano right away, but I know that a large amount of the community had different thoughts about Ahsoka.
I didn't like her right away.
No?
I didn't think she made sense. But do I love her now? Yes, I do.
She grew on you.
Yes.
Okay. And so she was Luke Skywalker's Padawan.
Anakin Skywalker's Padawan.
Excuse me, Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. Why can't I ever talk? And she was, long story short, something happened. She was accused of something she did not do. The right people did not stick by her, and she left the Jedi Order. This all went down in the cartoons. And when she left the Jedi Order, that was around the time that Anakin started going downhill. And getting closer and closer to the point where he becomes, as we know, Darth Vader. So, a little bit more history involving Ahsoka. She eventually becomes aware that Darth Vader is in fact Anakin. And I think that it was played this way throughout a lot of things, and it was one of these things where I think Ahsoka Tano played it like she had a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of she felt responsible, partly for what happened with Anakin. And my number one thing I needed to see was her and Luke together, which we got. Guys, we got Luke and Ahsoka standing with each other talking about Anakin at one point. She told him that he reminded her of his father.
Yes.
And and we didn't actually get them meeting, which I would have liked. That was my one complaint, is I wish they would have saved this for the Ahsoka series, and then we could have seen them, we could have had them taking a little bit more time with the meeting between Ahsoka and Luke. So we could have had the ultimate, emotional, character moment.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time we do have them side by side talking, they are actually acquainted with each other. Now, why is Ahsoka there? I don't care. She's just there.
I mean, he is trying to start up a school, so.
Yeah, he is trying to start up a school. He has his first student right now, which is Grogu. And the reason why we're seeing Luke and Grogu and Ahsoka is for obvious reasons, because it was mentioned in the last episode. Yeah. This is something that I liked, but it also did not sit well with me. What is your overall reaction to the placement in the Book of Boba Fett of these scenes?
I loved it, okay? First off, I loved it. I just don't think it belonged in... The show has got a weird structure. It was going fine, with the flashbacks. I loved all that. Then all of a sudden, it's the Mandalorian episode, which could have been seen as
an interlude.
An interlude.
We've heard people using that term.
And which was fine. And then all of a sudden, the second episode of not having Boba Fett in the Boba Fett show is a little weird now.
Yeah. I mean, granted, they had a little Boba Fett.
You did. I'm just saying, not a lot of Boba Fett in the
Did Boba Fett even speak?
Yeah.
Okay, because I couldn't remember. It's one of those things where it's there was so little Boba Fett that I couldn't even remember if he actually fucking said anything.
They showed some things that were happening on Tatooine.
They did. They did.
Cobb Vanth and, he got shot in the shoulder. He's fine.
Do you think so?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that are you okay, let's talk about this, guys.
Wait, this is farther on down the road.
This is further, well, not necessarily, because very early on in the episode, we do have Cobb Vanth, and he has encountered 4 members of the Pike Syndicate.
Yep.
And they're doing an exchange involving some spice. Okay, and if you are not aware, if you're a newbie to Star Wars, spice is basically cocaine.
It's a drug.
Yeah. It's a powdery substance, obviously. I'm pretty sure George Lucas got the idea from Dune.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. You could definitely draw the parallel. So he comes across 4 members of the Pike Syndicate just outside the city limits of, they're now calling it Freetown.
Like in the book.
Like in the books. A little nod to the book readers. But he is still the Marshal, and but he does not have Boba Fett's armor anymore, obviously, because Boba Fett has it. And so he encounters these 4 Pike Syndicate members, and he's like, "Not in these parts, Buckaroo." And they're like, they actually make a move to kill him. And sharpshooter that he is gets off 3 of them, and basically looks at the 4th one who hasn't drawn yet and says, "You better think about what you're doing here. Think a bit for a second."
I like how it turns into a Western.
Yeah.
I love Westerns. So.
I love the and the thing is if you're going to have Star Wars really evolve into being a Western, you've seen it with The Mandalorian. You've seen it with Book of Boba Fett, and especially when you get into these scenes with him, and he's the Marshal, and he's just like, we don't have that around these parts, that's so cool. And you get this moment where it's like, you have this idea where it's like, does everybody have a price? Does Cobb Vanth have a price?
Nope. He's incorruptible.
Nope. He is not corruptible. He is incorruptible, and because he basically has them, makes the one remaining person leave, probably was a mistake, probably should have killed him. Because then you have 4 people that just never returned. Now you have one person returning, saying, "This idiot, tried to mess with me." But you do have the moment where he's just like, "I am not going to take this stuff, and I'm not going to take this, and we are a good town, and not here." Which basically probably, I appreciate your optimism, but I have a feeling that it's not going to work out too well for him.
Probably not.
Yeah, as we know. So Mando goes and he visits Cobb, and he's like, we need muscle, and they're like, "We're just this small town. We don't have anything, here." And so, but on the other hand, as the Marshal and as what he just experienced, he does have something that he wants to share with the town. And which I think that if he had gotten the opportunity, he would have basically said, like, "Look, we do have a problem here that could become a problem." But he doesn't get that far.
I think with him getting shot, though, the town is going to help him. Wait, we done, and we got to talk about who came to town.
Yeah. Okay. So I heard you like watching some YouTube, other YouTubers talking about this episode earlier today, and I think it was Star Wars Explained. Actually talked about the silhouette.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to know when you watched it the first time, you watched it without me, obviously. Right, you knew right away.
Yeah.
Now, what were you thinking at that moment?
I was like, "Oh, God damn it. Cobb Vanth's going to die."
And that's exactly what I was thinking, folks. There we go. Right there. Okay, so if you are one of these people, and I've encountered a lot of people that have just experienced Star Wars via watching anything live action. There are these people that have not watched any of the cartoons, have not read any of the comics or books, and have just watched maybe The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and anything live action, movies and such. They don't know who this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as a super fan, what can you tell us about this guy, like, in a sentence?
Cad Bane, he's the meanest bounty hunter there is.
Okay.
Even meaner than Boba Fett.
And which is kind of hard to believe.
Boba Fett was real mean.
Now, there's a relationship and a past between the two, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's how Boba Fett got the dent on his helmet.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So...
I mean, I don't know if that's canon or not anymore. It was in an episode that never got aired.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there is a history between the two of them that I believe goes back to
the Clone Wars.
To the Clone Wars,
right.
to Boba Fett's youth. Like, he's a kid when he first encounters Cad Bane. And this guy is just... I need to know who plays him.
I'm not sure.
I'm not... I should have looked that up before we said to record. Because I honestly thought, like, when the speculation was out there that Cad Bane was going to show up somewhere in the Book of Boba Fett, I had my idea on who should play him. I don't think that that's what happened. I think that the voices sounded very similar, and I'm wondering if they got the same actor to play the character. Because I was thinking, you know, the perfect actor to play Cad Bane would be Lance Hendrickson.
Yeah, that would have been awesome, but like that's not who played him.
Yeah. But it definitely sounded like they had someone that either could had a similar voice, or was the same actor that did the voice acting in the cartoon. But let me tell you, this representation, this makeup / probably partly CGI of this guy was just
mean looking.
Mean looking. And the thing is because he is very mean. And he is obviously working with the Pike Syndicate.
Yep. He even says that.
He's working with them. Quite literally working with the Pikes. Wow.
So next week, if we get Boba Fett, we'll get some, Cad Bane too.
Okay, but the thing is it's the last goddamn episode. Yeah, so we better have some goddamn Boba Fett.
They better announce that there's going to be a season 2.
I feel like we've been... Because it's only 7 episodes. And 2 of them have been heavy on the Mando.
Yeah.
Okay? And that, you know what? Here's the thing. If everything that happened involving Grogu and Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka, and Mando and everything like that had happened as part of Mandalorian Season 3, that first episode, that would have been fine. The problem is, this is the Book of Boba Fett. And I feel like we've been cheated out of some Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Like, guys, were you going to do a Boba Fett show, or were you doing a Mandalorian show?
Yeah, right.
Because right now, it feels like you were a little bit confused
on what you... It better be a really long episode next week.
Yeah, right? Like, can we... I wish we could get some updates on, like, running times at least. Maybe don't tell us anything else, but give us a running time. Because right now, I'm sitting here thinking, like, what's the deal? What's the deal here? Because... if I can't even remember if Boba Fett actually said words in this episode, because Fennec Shand talked plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I can't remember if Boba Fett said actual words in this episode, he could have been interchangeable with any one of those characters. And his name is literally the show title. That is annoying as heck to me.
Yeah, it is.
and the thing is for me and my background and the way I look at things, like that took the beauty of what actually happened in the episode that should have been placed someplace else, within the Disney Plus verse of Star Wars, and kind of cheapened it for me. Like that is like my main complaint. This was absolutely fucking awesome episode if it wasn't the Book of Boba Fett.
Exactly.
And I'm a little bit annoyed with this. I don't know how other people are feeling and how other people. Okay, so like, because I wanted to see more Boba Fett. I am not as easily seduced by Luke Skywalker.
I mean, there's stuff we gotta see, like him bonding with his Rancor. I mean, like stuff like that.
What? Are we just going to see him riding a Rancor?
Yeah, I guess so.
In the next episode? Because I really wanted to see more of that.
I wanted to see that bonding. Where's Danny Trejo's character?
Yeah! That was freaking awesome. It was like Robert Rodriguez called up his buddy, Danny Trejo, and be like, Danny, do you really want to be in Star Wars? And he's like, man, I don't have anything going on that day. Because literally, filming his scenes that we've seen so far probably only took a day.
So yeah, I'm annoyed with that too. I'm annoyed that there's not enough Boba Fett in my Boba Fett show.
Yeah, I'm not so easily swayed by the presence of Luke Skywalker that.
I mean, I loved the episode. It's just that it wasn't an episode of Boba Fett.
So let's talk about some of the stuff that we did see with, because it is obviously it's the Book of Boba Fett, but what we were given was Luke Skywalker making his school,
Yeah,
basically, which is cool. It's cool if it was done elsewhere, but it's still kind of cool, guys. Okay, don't get me wrong. I thought, cool, we get to see this really early moment in Luke's development as Jedi Master. That was pretty cool. But if it's what we were given, we might as well talk about it.
Make a Luke Skywalker show.
Well, do they really want to do that, or do they really want to have...
Just give me a Luke Skywalker cartoon.
I would like the cartoon. Maybe a cartoon of him, going around and getting all these artifacts that they talked about him getting in Rise of Skywalker.
There's a book coming soon.
You think so?
I know there's a book coming soon.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, about him and Lando.
But him and Lando do a lot of this, but now they also have other people involved, don't they?
I don't know. We'll see in the book. We'll see. I haven't read it yet.
Read the book. Once it's written, once it's published. But...
It comes out later this year.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So, if you are wanting to read about what you've already heard about in Rise of Skywalker, about Luke and Lando going around on their adventure, trying to find Exegol and other basically artifacts of Jedi, then there's a book coming. Do you know who's writing it?
No, not off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So next week, huh? Next week going to be a Boba Fett episode?
I hope so. But let's talk about what happened with, because we need to talk about Luke Skywalker and being a Jedi.
We talked about that. Okay.
No, we haven't. Not entirely. What is this deal with the goddamn choice?
You know what? I don't know, man, but you think he would have given up on this, because that's what made the Jedi of old pretty shitty.
The whole, we're not allowed to have, emotional connections with people. We're not allowed to have attachments, guys. Hi, I'm Luke Skywalker. I have a sister and friends that I care about, and a nephew, and all this other stuff that I care about so much. I've got attachments, but no one else can.
Yeah.
No, Grogu can't be part Mandalorian foundling and also a Jedi, apparently.
I don't get it.
Like, he has to choose. And let me tell you something. That I'm like, okay, so he puts this choice in front of him of questionable origin. We have Mando's gift, which was forwarded to him, which, you know what? That's not classy at all. Din Djarin should have been able to at least hand it to him.
Yeah.
Like, what is this, a cult?
Yeah.
So, like, did Din Djarin unwittingly hand his baby boy over to a cult?
Yes.
Yeah. You cannot have contact or connection or emotional attachment to anyone other than the Jedi Order or the Force. Wow. I hate that shit. I don't think I would have ever been a Jedi if I had been there.
I think Luke starts learning a lesson, though, about this.
Luke needs to start learning the lesson about this because boy's got strings and he's not allowing anyone else to have any. And that's dumb. Dumb. So he puts this, choice in front of Grogu of you can either accept Din Djarin's present of the really cute little chainmail. The little chainmail camisole. Oh my god. So cute. Okay. Or you can have my former master Yoda's lightsaber that somehow exists.
Yeah. We'll look past that.
We're going to look past that because of the symbolism, but and these things. Okay. Let's be real here. Okay. There is always the possibility that Yoda had made another lightsaber.
Yeah.
Okay, to replace the one that got destroyed.
Yes.
Yes, there are moments in one in the prequel trilogy where Yoda does lose his lightsaber.
Yeah, he loses it in the fight
with Palpatine.
Yeah.
But then you have moments in writing written by Mr. Star Wars comic himself, right? Charles Soule.
I believe so. Yeah. Where they melt his lightsaber down.
They melted Yoda's lightsaber down. So the lightsaber as it exists in the prequel trilogies, it is actually in canon that it is gone. So now understand that we had 2 canon movies that had Yoda in it after the prequel trilogy, which would be Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, obviously.
And he was in Last Jedi.
The original trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm referring specifically about the original trilogy right now. Where there was no mention, not even sitting on a shelf in his home of, a lightsaber. So when would he have gotten this lightsaber?
Maybe he built one. He just kept it on him.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not too mad about it.
Okay. Well, if you can deal with it, then I guess I can too. So gives him the choice. Either choose this really awesome lightsaber or this present from your friend, from your father figure. And if you choose your father figure's present, that means you are giving up the Jedi Order. Wow. I hate that. You know, and it stinks.
Yeah, it does.
Like, you know what, you're going to talk about not having attachments when you have them. Shit. Like,
Well,
I'm pissed for Grogu. He should be like, you know what, motherfucker? I'm gonna go off and do my own thing with my buddy Din Djarin, and you know what? I don't need your stinking lightsaber.
well, yeah, that's probably what he's gonna do.
I don't need your stinking lightsaber. And you know what? I don't care that you can, levitate all the frogs in the pond. If I can levitate just one, that's fine for me. All the frogs are just overkill after that.
He just needs to levitate one to his mouth.
Exactly, which is what he did until, he got frog shaped. He got frog shamed a little bit. Now, Grogu, we're supposed to be meditating. God. Okay, the more and more I think about it, the whole Luke Skywalker and Grogu scenes, just kind of, irritate me. Okay, so, I'm hoping he makes a decision to be like, you know what, I don't need your Jedi Order.
Mm-hmm. Because there's more than one way to be, a Force user. You don't have to be a Jedi.
You don't have to be.
Luke knows this.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping he just leaves. That's pretty much the end of the episode.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have 2 episodes where, like we had mentioned ad nauseum, that didn't really have anything to do. Oh no, shit! We forgot about the boom.
Oh yeah.
The big boom. Oh man. Rest in peace.
Yeah, Jennifer Beals.
Jennifer Beals' character. Rest in peace. She is presumed dead at this point.
Max Rebo. No.
Did Max have the night off? Somebody find out. Did Max have the night off?
Man, I liked her character.
The thing is there was a lot of intrigue for that character, and there was a lot of talk of, whose side was she really on? And
obviously it was Boba's.
Obviously, either she was on nobody's side, and that was a problem.
Yeah.
Or she was on Boba Fett's side.
Probably nobody's, but still.
Probably she probably spent too much time waiting to see where the tide, where the winds, blew. And that also becomes a problem in certain situations like this.
Yep.
You either got to take your chances with one or the other, or you just end up expiring anyways. Yeah, we are speaking, of course, of the 2 members of the Pike Syndicate walking into the spa and leaving their bomb behind.
They did it. Blew it up.
They blew up and it was really looking nice too. She had really done up that place, and it looked good.
Especially for Tatooine.
Yeah. This is, you know what? This is a problem. This is a problem. We have female entrepreneurs being screwed over.
By the man.
By the man.
Even space patriarchy.
Even there is patriarchy even in Star Wars. You know what? We already knew there was patriarchy issues with Star Wars. But it was,
Space patriarchy.
Space patriarchy. But here it is, another example of the space patriarchy. Screw you guys all. There is no qualms about it. We need the Pike Syndicate to just blow up. And you know what? Here's the thing. If that fucking season finale is anything less than 50 to 60 minutes, it better just start off with somebody blowing up a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait for next week. It's good. I love the show. It's just, God, just get back to Boba Fett, man, and his story, please.
Or I could excuse a lot of this if this is one of those things where the interlude idea was correct in that we have 6 episodes or 7 episodes of Book of Boba Fett that sets up season 3 of The Mandalorian.
It sets up season 2 of Book of Boba Fett, part 2.
Well, you get where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this becomes one of these things where it's like it's setting up the next trial of the Mandalorian,
We'll see what
we'll have to see what happens. But somebody better get, like, a lot of people, like, with those stupid Pike masks just blow up right away. I would like that. That is my wish list. An episode that is more than 50 minutes long, if they're going to have this be the last episode of the season. With how much time we've been wasting. I need to have more Rancor.
Yeah.
I need to see some of the connection between the two of them. Okay, so Joe is indicating to me that he thinks we are done talking about the...
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Do you have to pee, dear? No. You have to... Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, so that basically what we want from the next episode of the Book of Boba Fett is way, way more Boba Fett.
Way more time, way more Boba Fett.
Way more time, way more Boba Fett, more stuff blowing up, preferably.
It better not go back to Luke Skywalker and his choice with Grogu. Just leave it now for the frickin' Mandalorian, alright?
Please, God. Please. Leave something for the Mandalorian. Please, please, please. Okay, so guys, obviously we're going to have one more week of talking about the Book of Boba Fett. Hopefully we are happier next week with it. And we are more in tune about this a little bit more. But that's it for what's happening Wednesday with the Officially Unofficial Geek. Thank you for joining me, Joe. And if you like Joe on the show, please comment and let us know. And maybe we can entice him to be on past Book of Boba Fett here and there on what's happening Wednesday. But stay tuned to the channel. We've got our usual stuff. We've got Flashback Friday, which will be the first appearance of Jason Todd. We've got our usual spoiler-tastic weekly comic roundup. We've got our collected edition Tuesdays, and I'm still not completely sure what I'm going to be doing, but we'll bring that up later. So thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, this has been What's Happening Wednesday with the Officially Unofficial Geek. I am Carrie, joined by Joe. And we'll be seeing ya. Bye!